Part 6. Shadyside, 1995. Chapter 21. Regina, what are you saying? Lauren cried. The wood suddenly turned darker, as if someone had turned off a light. A chill started at the back of Lauren's neck and ran down her spine. You heard me? Regina murmured, scowling. You are the hit-and-run killer, Lauren? Don't try to switch the blame to me. You are so sick, Lauren cried, raising her hands to her face. How can you lie like that? Isn't it bad enough that you killed those people? You killed them, Regina insisted. Face the truth, Lauren. But, Lauren sputtered, unable to control her rage. Regina held up her hand. Stop, just stop. I followed you in Mom's car. I know the truth. What? Lauren screeched. You were the one who followed me the other night? I followed you more than once, Regina told her. Do you want to know why? Because Darlene told me about you and Justin. She saw you and Justin parked in the car, kissing. I couldn't believe it. I had to find out if my own sister had betrayed me. Regina, Justin and I. That doesn't matter now, Regina interrupted. What I found out when I followed you is so much worse. Regina's voice broke. I saw you run down that man on Division Street. You aimed the car right at him. You murdered him, Lauren, and then you roared away. Regina took a deep breath and continued. I followed you that night too. The night you drove to the old mill and tried to hide the evidence. You buried the blood-covered t-shirt to protect yourself, didn't you, Lauren? Regina blinked back tears. That's why I've been locking myself in my room, she choked out. I was terrified, Lauren. I didn't know how to confront you. I didn't know what to do. I was living with a killer, my own sister. Regina turned away and started to sob. Her shoulders shook violently. She dropped to her knees on the ground. Lauren suddenly felt shaky. She grabbed the hood of the car to keep from falling. No, she murmured, not me, not me, not me. But ugly pictures began to form in her mind, pictures she had forced away, but now they returned, showing her the truth. A man's face pressed against her windshield, face contorted in pain, blood running from his mouth, smearing across the glass, metal slamming against metal, a scream of terror, squealing tires, a body landing on the hood with a heavy thunk. Her head thrown back against the seat belt jabbing into her stomach, the coppery taste of blood in her mouth as she bit her tongue, the bump as the tires rolled over a body, a woman's face, twisted in agony, and that voice, all the while that laughing girl's voice, urging her on. Let's have some fun, Lauren. Faster, faster, faster. No, Lauren cried. But now she knew that Regina had told her the truth. I'm the hit-and-run killer, Lauren realized. But you liked it, Lauren, the voice whispered in her ear. She'd never felt so strong, so powerful. Yes, I killed them. I killed them, Lauren realized. You want to keep that power, don't you, Lauren? The voice demanded. Lauren nodded her head. You don't want Regina to steal it away from you, the voice teased. Lauren shook her head back and forth, back and forth. It's not fair that Regina is so pretty, that she gets everything she wants, is it? No, Lauren choked out. No, no, no. Then let's have some fun, the voice urged. Lauren staggered to the car and lowered herself behind the wheel. Regina remained crouched on the ground, her back turned. Lauren turned the ignition key. The engine roared to life. Regina jerked up her head and turned toward the car. Kill her, the girl's voice instructed Lauren. Lauren threw the car into gear. Kill her now. Hurry, Lauren, the voice urged. Lauren aimed the car at Regina, slammed on the gas pedal, shoved it all the way to the floor. Chapter 22. The tires of the Cataluna spun in the dirt, sending up a curtain of dust. Then with a hard burst, the car jolted down the bike path. Lauren, no! Regina shrieked, raising both hands as if to shield herself. The car bounced over the bumpy ground. The wheels spun crazily in Lauren's hands. Kill her! Kill her! The voice rang out over the roar of the engine, the screech of the tires. Ow! Lauren's head shot forward as the car lurched up, a hard bump. Had she hit Regina? No. The car shot into the slender trunk of a pine, cracking it, sending it toppling to the ground. It bounced off, jerking Lauren against the door, hit another tree, rocketed over a fallen log. Whoa! Lauren uttered a long wail. She slammed hard on the brake, but the car didn't respond, didn't even slow. I'm heading right for the lake. Frantically, she pumped the brake, stomped on it, stomped with all her strength. The car shot forward. "Stop, please. Why won't you stop?" Lauren cried. The Cataluna bounced into the air, then flew over the marshy bank. It made a loud slapping sound as it hit the surface of the water. Lauren's chest slammed hard against the wheel. She uttered a gasp, saw red, struggled to breathe. A cold spray of water splashed over her. The car was sinking now, sinking fast. Murky, cold water poured through the open windows. Lauren grabbed the wheel, tried to lift herself off the seat, tried to pull herself, to free herself. Going to drown. I'm going to drown unless I can get out. But her foot caught under the brake pedal. She grabbed the door handle, tugged to open the door, but the door didn't budge. Down, down, the cold water pouring over her, filling the car, filling it. No, help, help me! The car sank so quickly. She choked as the icy water rose over her chin. Let me out! Let me out! The water flowed higher, lifting her hair from her shoulders, sealing her lips, her nose, her eyes. Down, down, underwater now, completely underwater. And all the while the laughter in her ear, the cold, cruel laughter. Hands tugged at Lauren. Strong arms lifted her from the dark. A sound, a familiar voice. Lauren? Wake up, Lauren, please. Let her be all right. Other sounds, sirens, voices, and glaring, flashing lights. Someone rubbed Lauren's hand. She felt herself moving, floating, being lifted away. Was she floating? Was she flying? Lauren fought the darkness, forced open her eyes, struggled against the blinding light. She's awake, someone shouted. She's alive. Lauren tried to speak, but her tongue would not move. Her lips quivered. Her whole body shook. Cold. I'm so cold. Don't try to talk, Lauren. Everything's going to be all right. Regina's voice. Lauren struggled to focus on her sister's face. Did I hit you? Lauren managed to stammer. Did I? I rolled out of the way, Regina told her. I'm okay. Another voice broke in. A little wet, though. Lauren blinked rapidly. Her vision slowly cleared. A man stood beside Regina, wearing the uniform of a firefighter. She hauled you out of that car, all by herself. The car! Lauren cried. They're pulling it out now, the firefighter told her. No! Lauren wailed. Rest easy now. We'll handle everything. The firefighter motioned to some others. Lauren felt herself being lifted into the air, placed onto a stretcher. The men carried her toward the flashing lights, toward the ambulance. Regina remained at her side, clutching her hand. I'm sorry, Lauren mumbled. I know, Regina told her. It wasn't me. It was the car. We'll talk about it later, Lauren. You rest now. The stretcher slid into the back of the ambulance. Regina climbed in beside her. Gazing through the open doors, Lauren saw the Cataluna. A tow truck pulled it up onto the shore, a long metal cable hooked to the white car's bumper. The car stood there, water dripping from the fenders, gleaming white, sparkling. It's totally clean and undamaged, Lauren saw. Not a dent. One of the firefighters circled the Cataluna, then approached the ambulance. He removed his hat and smiled at Lauren and Regina. I'd like to get a sports car like that. He shook his head. It crashed into a couple trees before it hit the lake, but there's not a dent on it, not even a scratch. He started away, then glanced back at them. Man, that car is wicked. Part 7. West Hampshire Colony, 1698. Chapter 23. William Parker held the knife high over Jessica. He gazed down at her. His hands trembled. Could he do it? Could he end Catherine's evil now, with a single plunge of the knife? She sighed in her sleep, stirred. William took a deep breath, and slammed the knife deep into the sleeping girl's side. Jessica's eyes flew open in shock. Her lips parted as if to ask, why? Blood dribbled out of the corner of her mouth, staining the white lace that framed her cap. Your evil shall no more walk upon this land, William cried triumphantly. Jessica tried to speak, but only a groan escaped her throat. She gazed beyond William, into the distance. Then her eyes closed. She collapsed back on the bed and died. I have defeated you, Catherine Hatchett. This day I have avenged the deaths of my brother and father, and all the others you have destroyed. This day you are no more. This day belongs to me. Reaching down with a trembling hand, William yanked the bonnet off her head. Long black curls cascaded over her forehead. He pushed them away. What? He gasped. Where is the birthmark? Where is the red crescent moon?" William touched her forehead where the mark should be, and found not a crescent moon, but a small, jagged scar. "What magic is this?" he muttered, frantically rubbing the scar, trying to make the crescent moon appear. Laughter filled the bedroom, slicing through William like a blast of icy wind. Jerking himself upright, he spun around. She stood in the doorway, laughing with delight. "Evie, what are you doing here?" "Evie? You call me Evie? Why not use my real name?" His eyes widened in shock. "Catherine," he whispered. "Cataluna, Cat of the Moon," she declared, grinning with pleasure. "But you were so easy to convince, so easy to fool." She touched a finger to her tongue, then rubbed at her forehead. The small red crescent moon appeared. "Do you think I needed a bonnet? A little flour and water is sufficient to cover this mark. But Evie, what about Evie?" "Evie has been dead for weeks now, since the day I arrived." Catherine shook her head gleefully. William stared at her in horror. Slowly he began to understand how completely he had been tricked. "I have taken an innocent life," he realized. "I have killed poor Jessica. More blood on my hands." He thought of Evie and Henry and Jessica, of his brother and father, of the terrible evil that Cataluna had brought to this land. With a shriek of rage he leaped at her. His fingers closed around her throat. With a cry she toppled to the floor. He landed on top of her, his hands still around her throat. Her eyes bulged. She struggled to breathe. He tightened his grip, felt her neck give in to his hands. William shook her, until she disappeared. "What?" William stared down at his locked hands. Cautiously, he opened them. A tiny brown field mouse darted out and scampered down the hallway. Catherine had transformed again. William scrambled to his feet and chased after the little creature. He stomped at it as it scurried out the back door. As the field mouse scampered across the backyard, William snatched a shovel from against the house. Desperately, he swung the shovel, again, trying to beat the mouse into the ground, to destroy Catherine forever. At the edge of the trees, William tripped and fell. His forehead struck the shovel handle, stunning him. He shook his head to clear it, rose up on one knee, watched as the mouse became a sleek white horse and galloped into the woods. He staggered after it, but it ran too swiftly. In seconds, it left him far behind. "I will find you," he shouted, racing through the forest, following her hoof prints in the soft earth in the faint fading light. "I will find you, Catherine of the Moon, and the evil you have brought to others will be the evil that destroys you." The woods stood dark and silent, yet something glowed in the distance. A campfire? William thought. But no, it burned without flickering, as steady as the moon. Approaching cautiously, he found not one light, but two beams of light that shone through the trees. He moved to his left, out of the path of the beams, and continued forward toward the strange, unearthly lights that seemed to rumble. He saw her then, in front of the light beams, no longer a horse or a cat or a mouse, or even the girl named Evie. Catherine Hatchett, standing motionless in the harsh glare of the lights, staring into them, transfixed. As William circled closer, he could make out Catherine's features, the crescent moon on her forehead. Her mouth hung open, her eyes wide. She appeared frightened as she gazed into the beams. He heard the voice then, not Catherine's voice, but a familiar voice just the same. "Do not be afraid, my daughter. I have come to help you." The voice of an old woman, the one named Crazy Gwendolyn, who used to live in the forest near their village. William remembered her well. "Do not be afraid, my daughter. This machine is from another place, another time, far, far away." As William edged closer, a strange creature came into view, as big as a large wagon, hard and shiny, as if carved from smooth white stone and coated with polish. A dragon? He wondered. He recalled drawings he had seen of creatures from ancient times. Perhaps the beams of light were flames shooting forth from the white dragon's eyes. Soft red lights glowed at its tail, he saw. It hummed and rumbled with a throaty purr, a great beast waiting to attack. "I was born not in the past but the future," the voice of Gwendolyn continued from deep within the creature. "When I discovered I was with child, I used this machine to travel 300 years into the past, to escape from a man who would have hurt you, Catherine. Now your life is yet again in danger, and once more this machine will save you, my child." William edged closer. He knelt beside one of the rear red lights. "Do not be afraid, my Catherine. Climb in, and I will take you away. They will never find you. They will not be able to hunt you down." William crouched lower as Catherine moved to the other side of the white dragon. Metal rasped against metal, like a musket being cocked. Then Catherine disappeared inside, devoured by the very creature that called itself her mother. Another clash of metal, this time a door being slammed. The rumbling grew louder. The dragon rattled and shook. "I will take you away to the future," Catherine's mother declared as the sound grew deafening. "They will never hurt you again." "She is going to escape," William realized. "I cannot let her get away." He dived at the creature, leaped through the air, through an opening in the side of the dragon, plunged inside the rumbling beast. The dragon shouted, it roared, and burst into flames. Chapter 24. William Parker's skin sizzled. Great sheets of flame shot up all around him, filling the belly of the dragon with an eerie light. He could see Catherine in front of him, low in some sort of chair. Her hands rested on a white wheel. Her head was thrown back as she laughed with delight. Blistering heat filled the insides of the creature. Fire seemed to pour from his arms and legs, from Catherine's hair and head and body, out of the depths of the creature itself. William screamed, but he could not even hear himself above the roar of the flames. He struggled to move, to get away, to escape the horrible heat, but a blast of burning air held him down, trapped him inside the beast. In his terror, he tried to think clearly, calmly. What kind of monster is this, he wondered, forcing himself to gaze around. It resembled a carriage, the most unusual carriage he had ever seen, with seats and pedals and a panel of lights and dials, but without whip or reins, and with no team of horses in harness. William worked up his courage and peered out the window at his side. The dragon flew forward, racing down a strange-looking roadway, a road not of dirt, but of the smoothest unbroken stone, with curious white lines, solid and broken down the center. Through the flames, William gazed upon incredible wonders. Great buildings of brick and metal, dozens of dragons, blue, green, red, silver, white. Lights everywhere. William hunched down on the back floor. He clutched the seats as the creature flew ever faster down the road. The creature roared and hummed, weaving back and forth. William flew back against the seat. He spied Catherine's face in a mirror suspended in front of her, saw her eyes on him, saw the glint of surprise in them. Through the wide glass in front of her, another dragon loomed ever closer, blue and low. They raced toward the blue dragon. People sat trapped inside his belly, terror on their faces. He shuddered as the dragons roared, then a terrible screeching. Metal crashed and crumpled as they rammed into each other, devouring the people inside. William fell onto the floor. The world spun around him, exploded into a white-hot ball of fire. His body burst with pain, crushing pain. "Catherine," he murmured. Then the dark silence swallowed him. "The convertible is totaled, and this baby doesn't have a scratch. Unbelievable." Joe Henderson glanced over at his partner. "Yeah," Shelley Klein agreed, pushing back her blue hat. She circled the white sports car. "And it must have been doing 100 when they crashed. I hate the thought of calling those kids' parents. Did you notice the out-of-state plates? I bet it's one of the first times these kids got permission to go on a trip by themselves." "Any of them going to make it?" her partner asked. "The medics are working on a couple, but I doubt it." Henderson glanced through the unbroken windshield of the white sports car, studied the teenage boy and girl inside, the girl in front, the boy crushed in the back. "I wonder where these two were headed. A costume party, you think?" Klein nodded. "Or maybe a school play. Those clothes are colonial looking." One of the medics headed in their direction. "No hurry for these two. They're both already dead." Epilogue. The officer was wrong. There were survivors in the white car. Catherine Hatchett survived. Her mother's strange machine brought her 300 years into the future. It crushed her body, but it left her spirit alive. Alive to inhabit that monster, a ghost in the machine. A spirit inside the sports car known as Cataluna. Her evil became the car's evil. Her voice its deadly music, her laughter its hideous cry. And what of William Parker? What of my spirit? I too survived. I refused to let death cheat me. I refused to give up my struggle against Catherine of the Moon, for I had made a vow that I would hunt her down, and I would have my revenge. Yes, my chase continued, across colonies and centuries. From this place 3 centuries from when I first lived, to a town called Shadyside, to a street named Fear Street. Ah, but that is a story for another place. another time. This has been a Nightfall Audiobooks production of The Cataluna Chronicles, Book 2, The Dark Secret by R.L. Stine. Hi, it's Chris again with Nightfall Audiobooks, and thank you very much for joining me for my production of The Cataluna Chronicles, Book 2, The Dark Secret by R.L. Stine. This was fun. I really enjoyed this series. It's supernatural to the core. It's great. There's shape-shifting, there's witches, there's betrayal. It was really something when William sliced off Henry's hand. Man, that guy's just not going to make it. This is 1698. Infection would kill you before anything else in colonial times. They didn't have proper medicine or even clean water. So poor Henry is not going to be doing too well. And then William accidentally kills Jessica because Catherine tricked him. Catherine disguised herself as Evie. This was great. The other part of the book with Lauren and Regina, with Lauren thinking that Regina was the hit-and-run killer the entire novel until it's revealed that it's not Regina, it's really Lauren. And then Lauren tries to kill her own sister, and then crashes the car into Fear Lake. I mean, this book has it all. It's got the Fear Street Woods, Fear Street, and Fear Lake. That's a very rare trifecta. I'm not kidding. The overnight takes place on Fear Island yet, so that has a fourth aspect that you never really hear of. But this is a great story. It's a lot of fun. It reads very fast. There's a lot of action. It's very engaging. It's a little dizzying with all the parts that it has because it's 150 pages, but 7 parts. So like 2 or 3 chapters, and then a new part shows up. And then 2 or 3 more chapters, another part shows up. But I hope you enjoyed this. I like running this series alongside the Christmas novel. I just had some extra space to fill up for 2024, and I decided to put the Cataluna Chronicles in there. So now you will be getting a Cataluna Chronicles book for 2024, 2025, and 2026. So it's something to look forward to. Do I recommend this book? Yes, absolutely. This is fantastic horror. There's a lot of action going on. It's a very good Fear Street novel. It's not a very good standalone novel because it's dead center of a trilogy, but if you wanted a good Fear Street trilogy to read and you didn't want to read 99 Fear Street, this is a good one too. Lots of gore, lots of action, time travel, witches. It's fantastic. Highly recommended. I know I say this about all the trilogies I read, but this one is probably my favorite, and that's probably why I've kept it for last. 99 Fear Street is very good. The Fear Street Sagas trilogy, it's okay. It's not my favorite, but it's okay. But this one is awesome. I really enjoy the idea of a car that destroys things and just can't be stopped. It's great. A haunted car is fantastic. What should I do next? I don't know. Please write me an email, nightfallaudiobooks@gmail.com. I am also on YouTube at Nightfall Audiobooks. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I love your comments and I love your suggestions. They help me select the next book to read. I also have a Patreon page, patreon.com/nightfallaudiobooks. So tell your friends, tell your mom, tell whoever you think would like to listen to me tell them tales from R.L. Stine. Thank you very much for listening, and I will see you next time.